Hi, primary families. This is Taryn Bon-Clegg, PYP coordinator and assistant principal for the primary school. I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the parents and families out there for your support and your patience and your flexibility with our first week of distance learning. Just like you guys, this is new for us as well. And we will definitely continue to collect formal feedback from the whole parent community, analyze that data to make changes and improvements week to week as we learn and as we grow. So, one of the improvements we are going to be making starting Monday is the idea of drop-in office hours. So, one of the nice things about in school learning is that learners are able just to kind of walk over to their teacher when they need help and support. Hey, can you help me understand this activity? Or I'm really stuck with this strategy. Can I get some feedback on my writing? That kind of we call it just in time support in education. That just in time support is really tricky once you start to have teachers and families spread out all over the world. So, one of the structures that we're going to put in place for our distance learning is the idea of drop in office hours. So, what that means is that if a learner needs support with a certain activity, they are going to be able to see what adults from their grade level are available for that just in time help that is really important to the learning process. So, in all of your children's weekly planners, there will be the addition of 2 new slides. For some grade levels, it'll be 3, just by nature of how many teachers teach that grade level. So, I'm going to use kindergarten as an example to walk you through what that's going to look like for you from the learner parent view and how you can use it to your advantage to make sure your children are getting the support with their learning tasks that they need. So, the first slide with regards to these drop-in office hours will be for the homeroom teachers and teaching assistants. And this is if a child is looking for support with their unit of inquiry, math, or reading. So, what a learner or a family is able to do, let's say it's Monday and a learner is needing some help with writing, then they'll be able to see who's available throughout the day on Monday that works best for them based on family circumstances and where they are in the world. Our teachers and teaching assistants have tried to offer a range of office hours so that whether a family is in Mozambique or if they're on the west coast of the US or if they're in Japan, hopefully there's someone who they will be able to contact. We understand that learners are probably going to look for their homeroom teacher or their base teacher as much as possible. But with the nature of the spread of our buffalo herd, we are encouraging learners to reach out to any adult from that grade level who will be more than happy to support them. So, all of the times are going to be in Maputo time. That's kind of our anchor. So, if you are a learner or a family and you're in Maputo, then you might look through those options and say, okay, for our family, this 8 to 9 o'clock time slot works really well. So, we're going to contact Miss Bev for support in the morning. Another family might look at this and say, you know what, based on where we are in the world, this 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Maputo time actually works a little bit better for us. And we're going to contact Miss Daniela for this. One of the ways that we've tried to make this really user friendly, all of the names of the adults take you to a direct link to their virtual office. So to cut out the back and forth of I need help, are you free, here's when I'm free, here's the link, we want to cut out all of those parts of the process and just streamline it a little bit more. So once a learner and a family sees what their options are and chooses one, then what they're able to do is just click on that link and poof, it takes you right to that adult's virtual office. Just like with any pop-ins or drop-ins, if that adult is already supporting someone, there's a virtual waiting room for learners and families. And as with in-person pop-ins and drop-ins, you might pop in or drop in. And after waiting a while, you might need to check back in a little bit later. So it's just like those, times where if we're at school and you're at school and you walk by and someone's free, then you're able to pop in and help. And if they're supporting someone else, then you have that choice to wait a few minutes, or you have the choice to check back in later. So, as much as possible, this is going to mimic those kind of drop in practices that we have in the real world. So, if you or your child is looking for support and it's not something that needs to be actioned just in time, you're still welcome to send emails and send Seesaw messages to the teachers for appointment-based Zooms. So just like in the real world, there are some times when we walk by and, hope to pop in for help. And there's other times that we reach out to someone we're trying to connect with to set up an appointment. So both of those options are still available for your children and your families. You guys will just have to make an informed choice of which approach makes sense. So, if it's something like needing clarification about instructions or needing some tips to solve a math problem or something that can kind of be solved with those just in time interactions, then probably shopping for someone and clicking on the link to their virtual office makes sense. If it's something that you're trying to schedule a meeting that's going to take a little bit longer, or you're trying to schedule a one-on-one session that's going to need a little bit more time, then reaching out to the adult and doing an appointment is probably a better path for that. So as with anything, this structure is going to be new for us this week, so there'll be glitches and bumps, and we'll just iron them out along the way. And at the end of the week, we'll collect some feedback and try to refine it further. But we're hoping that this structure allows your children to have a little bit more access to their teachers for that just-in-time support that we know is really crucial for learning. The second and third slide is where your children can shop for helpers with their specialist subjects. So same thing, all of the teachers for the specialist subjects have tried to block out a variety of time. Obviously, the specialist subject teachers are supporting more learners. So we'll have to keep that in mind when people are popping in for support with them, but we're going to try it out this week and see how it goes. So just like with the homeroom teachers, if your learner is looking for a little bit of support with performing arts, let's say, you can see when Miss Sharon's available. And if that time works for you and your family, you can click the link and go right to her virtual meeting room. And the same kind of routines and practices apply. If she's available, then she'll see you. If she's supporting someone else, you're welcome to wait in the waiting room or pop back in or check later. And if that kind of pop in isn't letting you connect, then you're welcome to email her and set up a more structured appointment or schedule moving forward. So just to clarify that support and availability of teachers. So when it comes to these drop-in office hours, that's when the teachers are going to be on demand. So that's when they're going to be live, able to respond, able to interact. Outside of those office hours, if teachers are receiving emails or Seesaw messages for things like scheduling appointments or answering questions, they will be responding within a 24-hour window based on their flexibility and their schedule. We've been really lucky that for this first week of distance learning, a lot of the teachers have been going above and beyond to respond to emails and Seesaw messages in the moment. And we are very thankful for them because the first week has been a learning curve for all of us. But starting next week, we're going to just differentiate a little bit of when families and learners can expect a live response, and when families and learners can expect a response within a reasonable window of time. Because keeping in mind our teachers are all over the world and our learners are all over the world. So it's not a possibility at this point that every teacher will be able to respond to every message from every learner and every parent instantly. We need to reimagine what the workday looks like and find our routine for that. So as families, you can support us in finding those routines by using the drop-in office hours if it's something urgent and in the moment that you need help with. And if it's something where there can be a little bit of time in between your question or your concern and the response, then we can use email and Seesaw messages for that. So thank you very much. If you have any questions about the why behind office hours, the how, the what, you're welcome to contact me, and I can support you with the idea of that structure. If you're having any technical issues with clicking on the link and reaching Zoom, then our tech support people who are listed are available to help you as well. So please reach out if you need some help. And like I mentioned, this is going to be new for all of us. We think it's going to be a great structure to allow learners and teachers to have more interaction. But we'll try it this week and we'll collect some feedback from you and we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for listening and for everything you do to partner with us in this distance learning experience.